I knew of the 9 Club. I went to skate shops to get my kids stuff, and I'd be like, "Oh, cool! You guys got your own radio." I'm not in it anymore. I can't even understand what you're saying. I don't even think I try to pay attention.
Right.
And then I get fired and go podcasting. What's that? And I start listening to podcasts, and then a friend, I think it might have been Danny, or I don't know, where I really listened. It wasn't just like a little snippet. I was like, oh, you guys are. It's all everybody and everything, and that's the other thing I noticed when I came back to skateboarding is there's a lot more acceptance of everybody.
It's true, yeah.
And everybody's style. Like not only is like I kind of left a little bit too because I wasn't sure about I hate doing this straight into the 9 Club, but sexuality wise, I wasn't too sure where I stood.
Okay.
And I definitely knew like where I was leaning was not a good idea to talk about, especially in my little community of skateboarding. The vert dudes they weren't going to have it.
And how old were you? What year?
What year? What? When I knew that?
Yeah, when you were not sure of
My whole career?
Okay. I thought you said there came to a point where you weren't.
Well, when I got busted, somebody saw me with a trans girl in Australia, and that skateboarder told people in America. And I denied that, but there were, a few people said, there's no way that you're whatever they used back then, because I know you're not, because you're Ellis. You sleep with all the chicks.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, sleep with everybody, but I didn't want to say that. So they, when I heard that, I was like, oh, wow, if you do admit it, you're fucked. And then at one point, a couple of people did believe it, and I got, you don't forget shit like this. A company called me on speakerphone with the guys that are talking about it, with the owner of the company, and they kicked me off, and they all laughed and hung up. Like, because I'm a fag,
Wow.
And I was like, at the time I was like, yeah, well, if they knew, then yeah, they'd be right. Because I'd still thought it was bad myself. I was kind of a bi guy that hated gay people because I grew up in a community of hating people for being gay. Like that was soft.
Right.
So I used the same word myself.
Sure.
So it was easy to hate myself too, which also probably led into a lot of the reasons that I did way more drugs and alcohol than I should have.
Sure.
We all partied, but I definitely
went over.
Flexed way harder, yeah.
Wow.
Not too many pros that I knew that were at the end of the night saying, come on, Jace, let's keep going. And I'm like, no, thanks.
Yeah.
I always was up for the challenge.
You were the guy who just wanted to keep going.
Party didn't want to stop.
So
Yeah.
is that what
Shows in my skateboarding.
what you're talking about right there? Was that the point where you were kind of like leaving skateboarding?
Yeah, I'd rather leave because
Yeah.
it became at contests where there was a group of people that did believe it and a group of people that didn't believe it and a group of people that could give two shits.
Sure.
So the ones that kind of believed it, I bump into them and they look at me different and it was almost a fight every contest because that one guy just kept saying it all the time.
Gotcha.
I don't flinch, just toss puppets. I don't give a fuck. You bleep it or not. I don't care about anybody. But you did do it, so it doesn't matter to me. And it's squashed. I don't care.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. But that's what happened. And in the end, I was like, that's not. If I'm going to go to a contest and think and feel like that, I'm not having fun.
Right.
I can't even think about my ride, really.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get out of there.
How old were you at this point?
That was 30s.
30s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd already, I was also not as good as I think I was probably starting to drop off a little bit, but still top 10, in contests. And then just went back to Australia.
That's it.
Yeah. And then that was so bad. That was a big mistake.
Why?
Because there's no skateboarding there. I was the only pro.
Okay.
You get up
At the
in the
time.
morning and go, what do you want to do? And everyone's like, I'm going to work, you dickhead. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm going the ramp. And I go the ramp. It's just rollerbladers.
Just you and the
man,
Wow.
yeah.
So I was like, I can't take this.
No one to skate with, yeah.
And then I got really heavy into drugs. I found heroin, started doing heroin, and I didn't know how to get heroin, so I got them off hookers because that's how I found out about heroin because they were on it. So then I get them to get it for me, and then I ended up getting 2 and let them shoot me up because I didn't care anymore.
Wow.
And then I OD'd, and they left me in a park somewhere, and I woke up in the park, and they robbed me, and it was in a park that super sketchy for anybody to be in there, and I was just, like, I was out in there.
Yeah.
And I figured I probably could have died, so that was the end of that. Stopped doing heroin and.
Just from that one thing, you just stopped doing it.
Yeah. I never did it again.
Wow.
And didn't go to rehab or anything because it scared. I couldn't believe how bad I got.
Right.
I was like, "You're a fucking loser." Like, who injects heroin? Like, I used to say, "Yeah, I'll party, but I don't." I'm not a loser. It's so hypocritical. Yeah, I'll do a bunch of blow all night, but I don't do fucking heroin.
Wait, that was the only time you did heroin?
I used to smoke it that whole, like, building up to it. I was smoking, chasing the dragon, it's called. These prostitute ladies taught me. So I chase the dragon, and then it escalates to, fuck it, I'll just shoot it up. And I was like, these guys are so addicted to it that they won't give me that much. That was my theory. So I won't OD.
Right.
Yeah. And then I woke up feeling really bad.
Dude, yeah.
And that was like, get it together, you know?
Huh.
And then I started to try.
Where is that like button right? Is it right here or right here?
Just a little scroll coming down the bottom.
It's
Subscribe.
over to it's on your
It's on my
left.
right? It's on
No,
my
on your left.
Hey,
Yeah.
hit that
Right there.
button right there.
Right there.
Right there.
The like button's kind of like in the middle there. It's like we're kind of like
it's like right here?
Kind of.
Like
yeah,
right
and the
there?
subscribe's like over to the left.
Like right over there. All right.